There's a moment when you turn a city corner and encounter a massive wooden sculpture that stops you mid-step, its organic curves and geometric angles pulling your eyes upward, its grain patterns catching the afternoon light in ways that make the entire piece seem to breathe. Abstract wooden public art does more than decorate urban spaces. It rewires our experience of the built environment, inserting the warmth and unpredictability of nature into our concrete jungles. These towering installations, sprawling assemblages, and surprising interventions transform how we move through and perceive shared spaces, creating landmarks that feel both ancient and utterly contemporary. The journey of abstract wooden public art begins with material selection on an epic scale. Unlike studio artists who can choose wood for its aesthetic qualities alone, public artists must consider durability, safety, and maintenance over decades of exposure. Many turn to dense hardwoods like white oak or black locust that naturally resist rot and insects. Some incorporate modern engineered wood products, cross-laminated timber panels that allow massive spans without visible supports, or acetylated wood that's been chemically stabilized against moisture. The most visionary artists work with urban foresters to source material locally, transforming trees removed for development or disease into monumental artworks that give them new life. A single sculpture might incorporate dozens of species: sturdy oak for structural elements, richly figured walnut for focal points, and unexpected inclusions like gnarled olive wood or spalted maple for textural contrast. Scale is where abstract wooden public art makes its most dramatic statements. What begins as a collection of raw timber in an artist's studio becomes a soaring presence that alters city skylines. The creation process often resembles architectural construction. Teams of fabricators working with heavy equipment to shape and assemble components that may weigh thousands of pounds. CNC routers carve intricate patterns into massive beams, while traditional hand tools add final detailing that keeps the work human-scale despite its size. Engineering becomes an art form itself as artists collaborate with structural specialists to ensure their visions stand securely while appearing to defy physics. The most successful pieces achieve that magical balance between monumental presence and intimate detail, commanding attention from blocks away while rewarding close inspection with subtle grain revelations and tactile surfaces that invite touch. Site specificity separates great public art from mere decoration. Abstract wooden installations converse with their surroundings, echoing the angles of nearby buildings in their negative spaces, mirroring the flow of pedestrian traffic in their dynamic lines, or contrasting deliberately with urban hardness through organic forms. An artist might spend months studying a plaza before designing, observing how sunlight moves across the space throughout seasons, noting where people naturally pause or gather, analyzing sight lines from surrounding windows. The best pieces feel inevitable, as if they've always belonged where they stand, yet simultaneously surprising, offering perspectives that reveal the familiar environment anew. Some sculptures incorporate functional elements: seating that emerges from their bases, canopies that provide shelter, or even interactive components that respond to weather or human presence. The abstraction in these works serves as democratic language, accessible to all viewers regardless of background while allowing for personal interpretation. A twisting wooden spire might evoke a growing sapling to one observer, a dancing figure to another, and pure geometric energy to a third. This openness to multiple readings is precisely what makes abstract wooden art so powerful in public settings. It becomes a mirror for community imagination rather than imposing a single narrative. Artists employ various abstraction strategies. Some distill natural forms to essential curves and planes, others explore pure geometry through wood's materiality, while a growing number create abstract narratives that suggest stories without illustrating them literally. The wood itself often guides these choices. A particularly dramatic grain pattern might inspire flowing lines, while a knot spiral could become the seed for an entire composition. Maintenance and longevity present unique challenges for outdoor wooden art. Traditional wood finishes give way to industrial-grade treatments. Multiple coats of marine varnish with UV inhibitors, epoxy stabilization for vulnerable end grain, or even sacrificial layers designed to weather evenly over time. Some artists embrace the aging process, designing pieces that will gracefully silver and develop surface checks as part of their evolution. Others incorporate replaceable components, perhaps oiled oak caps that can be refreshed annually while the main structure remains untouched. The most innovative solutions come from collaborations with materials scientists, developing hybrid wood and resin systems that maintain organic appearance while withstanding decades of exposure. Community engagement often shapes these projects from conception to installation. Artists conduct workshops where residents share personal connections to local woodlands or urban trees, stories that subtly influence the final designs. Some projects incorporate wood from significant community trees, a beloved park storm-fallen oak, salvaged timbers from a demolished historic building, or even invasive species removed during habitat restoration. The installation process itself becomes public theater, cranes lifting massive wooden elements into place as crowds gather to witness their city transforming before their eyes. This participatory aspect ensures the artwork feels owned rather than imposed, becoming true civic landmarks rather than bureaucratic afterthoughts. The emotional resonance of abstract wooden public art operates on both personal and collective levels. For individuals, encountering these works can spark unexpected moments of reflection, the contrast between wood's natural warmth and urban hardness reminding us of our own need for balance between built and natural environments. On a community level, the sculptures become gathering points, backdrops for photos, silent witnesses to daily life unfolding around them. There's something deeply comforting about their material presence in an increasingly digital world, tangible, textured, and resolutely real in ways that screen-based experiences can't replicate. The best pieces acquire their own legends over time, stories about how they change with the light during equinoxes, which angles make them appear to move, or what shapes people discover in their patterns during different moods. Contemporary artists are pushing the boundaries of wooden public art in thrilling directions. Some incorporate sustainable technology, solar-powered lighting that makes grain patterns glow at night, or kinetic elements that move with wind power. Others experiment with living components, strategically placed cavities where climbing plants or mosses can grow, gradually blurring the line between artwork and ecosystem. A radical movement explores temporary installations designed to decompose intentionally, their gradual return to the earth becoming part of the artistic statement. The most ambitious projects integrate entire buildings, wooden facades that continue in sculpture's language across architectural surfaces. The global conversation around wooden public art is accelerating as cities recognize its unique value. Urban planners appreciate how wood's carbon-sequestering properties align with sustainability goals. Psychologists document its calming effects in high-stress environments. Civic leaders observe how these installations become instant landmarks that define neighborhoods and spur economic activity. Meanwhile, artists continue exploring wood's endless possibilities, its capacity to be both massive and delicate, its ability to record time through growth rings while standing outside of time as art, its paradoxical strength and vulnerability that mirrors the human condition itself. Abstract wooden public art's future points toward even deeper integration with urban life. Imagine sound sculptures that amplify wind through precisely tuned wooden chambers, or scent installations using aromatic woods that release fragrance when warmed by sunlight. Picture entire plazas where seating, lighting, and shelter all flow from a unified wooden design language. Envision responsive sculptures incorporating sensors that adjust their appearance based on air quality or pedestrian density. As mass timber construction revolutionizes architecture, the line between building and artwork continues to blur, creating opportunities for entire city blocks to become canvases for wooden abstraction. Perhaps the greatest testament to this art form's power is how it changes our perception of time. In a fast-moving urban context, these wooden installations insist we pause, to notice how morning light slides across their surfaces, to observe seasonal shifts in their appearance, to witness years of patina development that records a city's history as faithfully as any archive. They connect us to long time scales even as we rush past them, reminders that the oak used in a sculpture may have begun life as an acorn when our great-grandparents walked these same streets. The next time you encounter abstract wooden public art, resist the urge to quickly categorize it. Instead, walk around it slowly, notice how its personality changes with each new angle. Place your hand on its surface, where allowed, and feel the texture that no photograph can capture. Observe how others interact with it, children instinctively drawn to touch, couples posing unconsciously in its shadow, solitary figures finding momentary respite in its presence. Then consider how this carefully arranged wood has transformed not just physical space but human experience, turning a routine commute into a moment of wonder, a nondescript plaza into a destination, a collection of individual strangers into a temporary community united by shared aesthetic encounter. That's the true alchemy of abstract wooden public art. It doesn't just occupy space, it activates it. Doesn't just display artistry, it fosters connection. Doesn't just use wood as material, it unleashes wood's ancient power to shelter, inspire, and unite us. In our increasingly fragmented urban landscapes, These wooden sculptures stand as beacons of wholeness, reminders that even in man-made canyons of steel and glass, nature's voice still speaks through grain and knot and carefully shaped void, if we're willing to listen. The wood waits in lumber yards and urban forests, in salvaged beams and storm-fallen trunks. The public spaces hunger for meaning beyond mere functionality. And the artists stand ready to mediate between the two, translating tree time into city time, individual vision into shared experience, abstract form into communal memory. All that's missing is our willingness to look up from our routines and let these wooden wonders work their quiet magic on our hurried hearts. In the end, great abstract wooden public art achieves the remarkable feat of being both unmistakably of our time and timeless, speaking to contemporary urban experience while tapping into something primal in our relationship with wood that stretches back to humanity's earliest structures and sculptures. It's this dual nature that allows a carefully arranged assembly of timber to stop us in our tracks, to make us catch our breath, and to subtly reshape how we see and move through the world we've built. That's no small accomplishment for mere wood and imagination combined.